Hello there, Virgo. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient, medium, and an empath. This reading's for Virgo for February of 2020, 2 months into the year already. For all of you that are new out there, pull 4 cards for the month. We use the bottom card on the deck for our overall view of the month, and then we'll pull angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you. Guess that makes all of us Virgos named Frankie for the time of the reading. Look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You get a more comprehensive view of the month. And I also don't believe the cards will go week by week. I think they're going to blend in and out throughout the month as a overall theme for the month. Now, I have a short message for us, and I know it's important. At first, when I lay these cards, I always get the message and then I lay the cards. But the message is very simple. It's a big word. It just is listen. Listen, pay attention. And when I saw these cards, I know why they're saying listen and pay attention. Because we've got to make sure that we are getting the story straight. So if something's coming at us, and it's not the right story, or something seems fishy, or we know maybe something about the true story, maybe perhaps we're going to have to really listen. Listen to what other people are saying, because I believe there's a difference between listening and hearing. When I hear somebody, I say, yeah, yeah, I hear you. It went in this ear and out the other. And this month, looking at these cards, it's going to be extremely important that we have listened to every word and that we are sure what is said, right? We're getting it straight. I don't know what that's going to be about, because I do know people appreciate us and respect us, and we are going to get thanked for the hard work that we do, but it might be a little trying. We have good words, and I almost put the cards back, Virgo. That's exactly what I was thinking, like, yikes. But I think if we do that listening, there's a roundabout way with this that's going to bring us out on the other side in a much better positioning. That's how they want me to say it. We have good words, they're beauty, creativity, respect, intention, and awakening. And I think those words, that especially intention and awakening, are going to become really, really important to us this month. Our first card here is the Page of Swords, and want to look at him. He's looking straight ahead, not behind him, swords out in front of him, right? Very, very sure of himself. Page of Swords is a sure energy. It's young energy. I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, we have 5 swords in this reading. And we are Virgo, we are earth energy. This is almost all air energy reading. Page of Swords energy is very, very self-confident, very sure. It's a young energy. It's going to be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type energy. Can be sun, moon, or rising, male or female, right? Because these are general readings. But this is so self-confident, so sure. It's cocky because he's not turning around because he knows, and he's so sure of himself. It's that kind of energy that if they come up behind me, I'll swipe them with this sword and I'll be the winner anyhow. So this Page of Swords energy can bring like messages about problems, maybe relating to somebody younger that we knew. Could be one of our kids got in trouble, failed an exam, at school, something like that. But or it could be somebody that we know that's younger, not necessarily, because these are general readings. They could be the same age, but acting immaturely. That type of energy means there's some type of an element of experimentation that comes with Page of Swords energy. We're not air, so I don't think it's us. I think this is going to be outside of us, we're either us, that's how it reads, us or someone else is taking some kind of a risk, or behaving in a risky manner that can cause problems. The Page of Swords energy is motivated by unconventional activity, which can cause some kind of strife or aggravation, around us. So it could be someone at work, or a situation at work that could be causing us strife, and maybe that's why they're saying it. The other thing I want to really say about the Page of Swords, it's popping in my head right now. The Page of Swords is immature. So let's say it has a co-worker at work. The Page of Swords wants to know everything. Like the Queen of Swords, she's the facts and the facts only. You're not going to get emotion. When you come to the Queen of Swords, she's smart, she's concise, she thinks on her feet, that type of energy, but they want the facts. They don't want boo hoo hoo, don't cry on my shoulder, Virgo, that type of, energetics. He, the Page of Swords possesses that same. They want to know all the facts. So inquisitive, always asking questions, blah, 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 blah. They're the one that's in your face. Why'd you do it? Who were you with? Blah, blah, blah. And answering them, and they're spitting out one question after the other where you just want to go whack and smack them in the head. That's how the energetics feels to me. It's like, shut up, and why is it any of your business? It's that kind of energy. The other thing the Page of Swords is known for or good for is gossip. So what Spirit's saying is, zip my lip. I am listening. I'm not just hearing. I am listening because I'm making sure my facts are straight. So the Page of Swords energy, how I think about it, is it would be that person that comes up to you and says, do you know what George did? Blah, 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 blah. Right? And I'm hearing and I'm not listening. So I say, oh yeah, and I blow it off. And then the Page of Swords goes down and talks to Marcy and says to Marcy, do you know what Virgo said about George? That's that kind of energy. And I was hearing and not listening because the Page of Swords is talking all the time, and I didn't get it straight, right? I didn't get the facts straight about what they said, correct it if it was wrong, or just say, you shouldn't be talking about that and I don't want involved in it. It can bring up that kind of energy. The Page of Swords and is the energy of, I want it and I want it and I want it, or I think when I think that I need it type energy, I need it. My daughter, she didn't want a pair of new shoes. She needed 2 pairs when she was a teenager. It's that kind of energy, and I used to think 2, not 1. How much does this cost me? It's that type of energy, and it's the bottom card on the deck, so it's a considerable is what I want to say, considerable type of flow energy that's coming in, because this is like the whole reading's darn near all swords energy if we think about it, so to me that's a lot of air for us little earth Virgos here. Here's our one and only. We got the 10 of rods. All right, we have the word intention here. We have the word awakening and creativity and respect. respect for my work, respect for who I am, right? So the Ten of Rods or Wands energy is, it means that we are taking up some type of a new responsibility that is appropriate to a new cycle coming in. Because it's a 10 and that reduces to a 1. So there's something that ended and something new that's coming in. They could be heavy, they could feel very burdensome, but we would have the strength and the character, right, to carry the load. So we would feel that we could do anything, even if it was extremely difficult, right? Um, but the other end of the Ten of Rods energy is all of the work or whatever, the labor could have went for nothing, and we may be carrying burdens that do not belong to us. And I got a feeling with all these energetics coming up here, that could be a possibility. So we'd be weary, like we were carrying the whole world up on our shoulders and we were going to be collapsing. But it would be up to us to decide with this Ten of Rods energy whether the responsibilities that we've undertaken, right, are legitimately required, or are they because someone else is shirking their part. you know. Sometimes it's one member of the family, one member of an organization, gets all the dirty work put on them, and it's for a simple reason. We're Virgo. We can do it. We dot the I's. We cross the T's, right? So we're willing to do it because we want, when we're in a workplace, we Virgos, we give it our all. We want to please our boss. We want, to the respect that we are due. So but we don't want, what we don't want this month is to pick up somebody else's load, that they're throwing it on us, um, throwing it on us. So the card's actually saying, ask for help if we need it. So this type of energy, if this is not my load, not my load to carry, always think of a coworker coming in, and Leo just got this card. So a coworker comes every Friday, they leave for work because they got a nail appointment, right? And they throw the leftover work and say the boss wants that done. And he wants it done yesterday. And you'll see why I'm saying that when I pull up the next card. The boss wants it done yesterday. I have a nail appointment. Virgo, you do it. But they do this to me every Friday. They do it every day. Virgo, I can't do this. Will you help me do it? And then they walk away and I'm there finishing their task. It's that kind of energy, right? Or the kid that doesn't clean their room. The kid that's not cleaning up their room is what I want to say. And I say, George, go clean up your room. And he says, I will. George, go clean up your room. 45 minutes later, I'm like, George, go clean up your room. Half an hour later, after that, I'm in there, George, clean the room. I will. And I get so frustrated, I go clean the room. Or take out the garbage because George is still laying on the couch playing the video game and nothing ever gets done. It's like, ask for help if I need it. Put the work back in load. When the coworker comes once again, just say, I'm sorry, I have my own work to do, right? And making sure I got the story straight. They didn't have a doctor's appointment. They were going to get their nail done, like our original message. The stories are straight. I listened. I didn't just hear. And you'll see why, because of the next energies coming up is the Knight of Swords. We are like inundated with sword energy this month. In my other cards, this particular night, he's on a horse charging forward into battle, right? With a sword out in front of him. This card He's not looking behind him either, and there's already blood on this sword, right? So he is, really, really sure. So sometimes it can be a person coming at us because he expects to win the battle. So Knight of Swords is the King of Swords will go to war, but only if forced. It's mature energy. The Knight of Swords is going to war. You know, overly aggressive type energy, male or female, right? Because these are general readings. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, once again, can be their moon or their moon or rising sign also that's coming at us. And it could be us if we have, a lot of Virgo in our chart or whatever, because it could mean that we are aggressively pursuing a lifestyle that's going to allow us to live it out the way we want to, So, like as a messenger, this Knight of Swords is a messenger knight. It can be like, it can refer also to like bad news that comes, which could relate to us personally or someone close to us also, or it can mean some type of conflict is at hand. It's not physical conflict, it's air energy, so it's not physical, but it can mean like really violent differences of opinion around us, angry messages being sent back and forth. If it's not like a person in our life, it could mean that we are so darn focused, right, on what we want to do. I think the reading of is actually our intellectual pursuits that we are neglecting everything else in our life, or we may be expressing our ideas and our opinions like too forcefully, and that gets us negative feedback. So, with this Page of Swords and this Knight of Swords energy coming in, both at the same time, basically, what I want to say is, first and foremost, if this is me and I have some really good ideas, I want to tell everybody what my ideas are, what and get them on board. So all of us are kind of like going for the same thing. So all of the people are on the same page, right along with me, on the same page, and they're cooperating with me. So if that is me wanting a project done at work, so on and so forth, I need their help, I need their creativity, I want them to be with me in a respectful manner that is, going to, setting the intention ahead of time. We're all going to go get it, go do it, that kind of energy. Then we can get all of us together exactly what we want. Now, if this is outside of me, it can be like the boss that says, I want it, and I want it done yesterday or 2 days ago, and very snotty coming at me like that, for nasty type energy. And I'm like, but I already got this other stack of work. I don't care how long you stay, I ain't paying you for it. Just go do it. That, or the boss that we have a project we're working on, waiting for the good parts to come in to complete the project, and it's delayed, and he goes and orders really cheap component parts and makes us put the project together. It falls apart and he blames us because he bought a cheap component part. It could be that type. Those are just energies that are, like examples of the type of energy that comes off of it. But if it's used right, that Knight of Swords energy, get everybody on the same page with me with the same intention ahead of time. Look out, Hannah. I'm going to get the respect, we're going to get the project done, and we're going to look good, right? So using it in the positive, staying out of gossip like the Page of Swords, knowing the facts, listening by not just hearing, So I got my story straight. I respect what I think. It's all, I have my I's dotted and my T's crossed. That kind of energy's coming up, and then we're using it right in the right way, right? That's the way I want to say it. Because the Five of Swords is our next energy. We got another one. This is the double-edged sword, one of like defeat or misfortune and betrayal or loss, and the other is like of learning to accept like boundaries that we all have to face in our life, unavoidable limitations. Maybe someone disappointed us, but if they did, we were expecting too much of them. Fives are about adjusting, right? Adjusting. And this five means we're in a period of adjusting. Um, to some kind of change that was brought on by distress or loss. It's uncomfortable change, but it's necessary because change is part of life, period. End of story. Um, the, the, the more we resist change, right? This is the way I want to say it. The more we resist change, the more difficult we make it for ourselves. So, whatever is being challenged right now or calling for us to change, maybe it's our lifestyle, our philosophy, because we have that Knight and Page of Swords energy in there, you know, now's the time to go to work and bring those changes into our daily life, but to bring them in ourselves through our intention, you know, and our awakened state of being. And that way it's usable, right? He has three swords in his hand. There's two laying here on the ground, but he's looking down at it like, was it really worth it? You know? So the feeling that's coming off of it is to make whatever I want, make it simple, and do it in a manner that's appropriate to me. What is it I want? I'm creative. I have respect. It's that type of energy. I know how to listen, get everybody on board with me ahead of time, and I know when to speak and when not to, right? I'm saying it because of the next energetics coming up here, and that's the Seven of Swords. I couldn't believe we got all of this, but with Seven of Swords, they call this the card of the thief. Because the premise of it is he went into the camp, in broad daylight and stole five swords, the elephant in the middle of the living room, which is possibly energy of our Page of Swords and Knight of Swords energy in here. Nobody's talking about it. It's that kind of energy. So it means that we are to be to take caution is the way I want to say it. And caution in all of our dealings are called for. And I think that's an original message. Listen. Don't just hear, listen. It's a suggestion about a roundabout action and indirect communication. And we aren't like that. So nothing's quite what it seems to be. And with all the sword's energy, this really makes sense. So since it's not what it seems to be, we have to use our brain, our wits, right? We have to use that to achieve our aim, because sword energy is mental energy. We have a lot of mental energy here, but not the King of Swords, okay? So it tells us to avoid at all costs being overconfident, or because we appear to be in the top position or have all the cards in our hands right now, but the word is prudence. So lack of proper prudence could still do us in. It means we've got the upper hand now on a really tricky situation, but we still want to exercise caution in handling all of our affairs. It's a time when we can begin like new attempts to overcome any previous things that were failures, and but we don't go at it like we're the bull in the china shop. And air energy can do that a lot of times. So the words are discretion, discrimination, diplomacy, and evasive action. And I'm going to say another word in here that is detachment, listening, making sure my store what I'm is straight, you know. We might not like having things this way, you know, it's like, but it's the way we will most highly likely achieve success in whatever it is that we're doing this month. And it also can mean we're going to get some kind of good advice, you know, maybe someone telling us if we're hearing and we're listening, not just hearing, giving us good advice. Hey, Virgo, you know, maybe stay out of that. Or, hey, Virgo, this promotion's up, you know, zip your lip. Don't tell everybody all my creative ideas, you know, because we got the little gossip going along in here with, you know, gossipy energy along with it. Maybe I want to, because it can also mean someone's going to steal intellectual property from me. Maybe something I was working on and trying to create, you know, worked really hard and I spoke about it and someone else stole my idea ahead of time. So with that aggressive type energy, like this Knight of Swords energy, when I'm speaking, I might say I have an idea for something, I get everybody on board with it, but I don't tell them every detail because I need their input and I want them all in straight intention along with me. So whatever we produce is the right thing, you know, the right thing. We got a lot of air, which is mental, you know, energy going on this month. And I believe air is telling us that it's time to move forward, you know. And two of these more aggressive type energy says too, it's the right time. But it's saying get everyone on board, listen, get the story straight, pay attention. I'm going to come out of it with all those kudos and thank yous because it's the right timing. And I'm the Virgo that can do it, right? Oh God, our angel card. Perfect timing. You can't make up the angel cards. You know, I looked down at these and I thought, oh, Virgo, we're in trouble big time, right? And then Spirit said, no, it all comes out in the wash when the intention is right. And Virgo listened and didn't just hear. That's funny. It says, now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspiration. We have creativity here. It says, the doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. We want them all. They kept saying that to us in the reading. We want them all on our side, don't we? And it says, this card means that you need to take certain steps before your prayer can be fully answered. Maybe mature from the Page of Swords into the Knight of Swords and into the King of Swords. The angels say that now is the perfect time to act. They will guide you along the way. Sometimes it's not so important how we approach a situation, but that we put energy, action, and intention, just like our word, into manifesting what we desire. Once we take the first step in that direction of our desired outcome, the universe gives us additional help. It says, take the action now, the situation will work out, provided that you don't delay. Make a decision. Any blocks in the past were there because the timing wasn't right. Whoa, and go for it. Well, Virgo, that's our reading for this month, and I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, shares, your subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really do appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me or just go neb about me, Or if you need to set an appointment with me, all the information is in the About section below the screen at the website. There's also 2 short videos over there at the website. One explains a prayer class, the other explains a sutra classes I put out there for you. Prayer class is very comprehensive. It explains how to format prayers while you do them that way. It's 2.5 hours long, and the sutras are simple thought forms particular for this kind of work that enhance the clear perceptions, and it takes 5 minutes a day. That's all it is, but the videos are over there. And now my big announcement, and to all of you that I've met through 4 whole years of doing YouTube videos now. Yep, this is year number 4. So I can say, and all of you I've met through 32 years of doing this work. I want to tell you all it's been an honor, a privilege, a pleasure, and a joy to serve you. And hopefully I'll see you back here next month. Bye-bye.